chat right now.
I see that.
Yeah. All right, what's going on, brothers and sisters? We got a special starring guest up in here. Definitely gonna help us out. I believe personally, not only me, but with y'all who's watching this or who's gonna watch this on a replay, financial problems. I'll let you introduce yourself.
What's good, people? We
Oh,
hustle,
snap.
guys.
Yeah, so definitely. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell people how I came across you. Actually, I've been on Charleston White YouTube live, and it was supposed to be one of those lives when he just be going ham, just just roasting people and all that. And for some
Hmm.
reason, it made a turn because it was people coming in, joining the live, and then you had came in and you had just had took it to a complete turn. You actually motivated him to like participate in what you're doing right now. I'll let you explain to the chat what you're skillful in.
Right. So for those that don't know, I'm Winston. And right, I'm a creator, right? And one of my top skills right now, the one that pays me while I'm asleep, is options trading, right? And I love it. I love it for three reasons. One is because I can have the occasional instant return, right? Two, I don't have a boss telling me when to clock in or telling me how much money I'm gonna make for how many hours I put into his business. And three, um, the stock market has a historical 10% return on investment, historical 10% return. And the banks only give you 1 and 3%. So all off bat, the stock market gives you more money than the bank does. So I love it. I love it. It's one of my side hustles, one of several, and one that I'm constantly learning and growing in, and have been fortunate enough to help other people learn and grow in as well.
All right, yeah, you're right about that bank thing because mine said my bank down way it says 3%, but some of them say 1% on like holding your money in their accounts. But I
Yeah.
got a question. Do I want to go back to like where it all started with you? Like, what made you think that you was putting all the time into somebody company that you didn't own? What put you in that mindset to be like, man, I ain't trying to do this?
Yeah. Bro, so um I joined the service. I joined the Navy in 2012 and I exited 2019. I haven't had a job really because the Navy wasn't a job, it was a career. It's 24/7. You don't get no time off. So I haven't had a job since 2011, 2012, right? And I just remember before I joined, right? I had to punch a clock, and I was working at Papa's Barbecue here in Houston, Texas.
Whew.
And, but don't get me wrong, I love food. I love cooking. I love barbecuing. But yo, I was working almost 50 to 60 hours a week for a $400 check every 2 weeks. And I was like, man, I'm putting too much time into somebody else and I'm not getting enough in return. And it's like I was there for 2 years. And after being there for 2 years, I was like, where's the growth? It was no growth for me.
Yeah.
And it came down to a decision of am I going to stay here or am I going to do something different? And at the time, I was involved in a lot of things that I didn't want to do anymore. And then I ended up getting involved in some wrong things and end up seeing some people go to jail, end up seeing some people get hurt. And I was like, okay, I got to make a change. I gotta get out of my environment. I basically need to go somewhere else. Um, so I went, signed up for the Navy, and within 14 days, I was gone. I was out of Houston, across the U.S. And Papa's the restaurant. They tried to keep me there. They tried to keep me there. He offered me a management position, but the management position was something like $32,000 a year. I was like, I just felt like I was worth more than that. I knew I was worth more than that. So I chose the military over becoming a manager at a barbecue restaurant. And I'm happy for it. I'm absolutely happy for it.
Dang. So I feel you when it comes to joining the service. I was in the army. And I think within the weekend, I had went to MEPS and all that because I was like in the streets too. And I said, let me get an exit, an exit out plan. So I feel you on that, and definitely with the career service. But go to while you was in the Navy, like how that like help you.
Um, but it gave me a lot of opportunity. Um, I always tell people it was the best worst experience I ever had. You never like another man telling you what to do, when to do, how to do it, right? Not
Yeah,
consistently, but that's what the Navy is. But I can say from it, one, I learned how to defend myself. Two, I learned how to defend others. Um, two, I learned I mean, you already know the importance of family, but to learn the importance of choosing family, definitely learned that as well. I have brothers and sisters who I call brothers and sisters to this day. I'm good anywhere in the US, and that's an amazing feeling. You know what I mean? I learned discipline, I learned structure, I learned how to think outside the box. But I think the most important thing um, is I learned I learned how to see the world different. I got to see different cultures, and it was humbling. It was humbling. But it also opened me up to new experiences. Like I had never walked down the street and had somebody come up to me, black man. I love black man, beautiful black man, walking up to beautiful black women. Like they don't do that here in America. They don't appreciate us. They don't like us just for who we are. But it's places on this earth who love us just for being us, who appreciate us. Like these people, I was it was in Thailand. I'm walking around in Thailand, and literally everywhere I went in Thailand, black man, ooh, beautiful black man, beautiful, beautiful black person. And it was a new experience, and that was like my introduction into other societies, other ways of thinking, other ways of interpreting, learning, a whole bunch of stuff.
The culture. That's what you're saying. You've been overseas too.
Hmm.
I feel you. I've been was dang, but the two places I've been overseas for a long period of time was Korea and Afghanistan. They always been PCS, a little short. Let's
Yeah.
say a month or a couple of weeks at other places, but those don't count. So I know you talk about with different cultures and different views on you as you being African American. But quick, another question: what made you decide to leave the Navy though? Will you be like, okay, I ain't gonna do the 20 years? You know what I'm
Um,
saying?
I think it was an accumulation of a couple things. One, I had grown fed up with people telling me what to do, when to do. Not to say I have a problem with authority. It was a problem with authority in the military. Because in my personal opinion, it's a bunch of kids trying to raise kids. People who never grew up, who gained some type of power through rank. And I couldn't be led by children. I couldn't be led by children anymore. The second reason, which I can't talk about too much, is because of several events that happened. And I can never forget those events. Um,
Oh,
and
okay.
my life was in the hands of other people. And not to say that they were incapable of taking care of me and the people around me. I didn't want somebody else to have that much control over my life, especially when it comes down to life or death. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And then the last reason, the reason that it was the bottom line for me. I knew I was done. Um, I'd lost several family members in 1 year, and I was on deployment, and I lost my grandfather, and I went back for the funeral, but I could only stay for like 4 or 5 days. And in that time, my great grandfather passed, and I couldn't stay. They wouldn't let me stay. And these were two men who helped raise me and taught me a lot. And bro, I was hurt. I was hurt because I couldn't say thank you. I couldn't say goodbye. I couldn't tell them I appreciated them. And I was messed up after that. I was messed up. So even when I got back to deployment site, I wasn't right for weeks. Like I couldn't focus. I couldn't think. I was messed up big time. And people was like, well, you know, the military, they first, when you dealing with stuff, first thing they say, get over it. Get over it.
Oh
And
yeah.
that was the final straw for me. That was it. I was like, yeah, these people, they don't care about my life. They don't care about the things that are important to me. And I'm missing out on important stuff with my family. I should be with my people during these times. And that was my final straw. And so once I made that up in my mind that I was done, I was like, I need to start building skills. I need to find something that I like and that I can be good at. And I need to work on that. I need to grind on that. Because I don't want to work for nobody anymore. I don't want nobody to have control of my life anymore.
I feel you on that, especially when you come to the conclusion and the assumption that you just a number or maybe a rank within the service you did, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of take a bigger toll on you when you going through stuff like that, especially on family situations. So I get where you coming. So once you had got out, right?
Hmm.
Um, how was your finances? Like, was you because some people who are still in the service still didn't learn no financial literacy like me, you know.
Yeah.
So when you had got out, was you like already on a load of cash? Like, okay, I got enough money to do, like, you know, pay my bills and focus on my new skill. Like, how did that work?
So it's crazy that you asked that because I finished two enlistments. My first enlistment was for 4 years. My second one was for three. So I did a total. I did a little bit over 7.5.
Yeah.
When I wanted to get out after my first enlistment, so after that first 4 years, I was ready to leave. But I looked at my bank account and I was like, man, I don't have no money. I don't have no money saved up. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
sir.
I was like, man, shoot, let me go ahead and re-enlist for these next 3 years. And in that time frame, I made it, I made it, I made it a priority to save. And then I was on deployment for those two of my last 3 years. I was on deployment, so I had no reason to spend no money. So I was just saving, saving, saving. So when I got out, I was in a position to invest a little money because I had something to withstand me for a few months. I make it like even now, I make it a habit. I need in my bank account, I need at least 3 to 4 months worth of bills, right, in my bank account.
Okay.
That way I show the bank I got a little something. That way when I go and apply for like loans or I apply for a new credit card or I'm trying, let's say you're trying to get a car or a house or something. Bank say, okay, you got a little money, you pay your debts. You know, I don't I don't keep more than that in the bank because I'm not getting enough money from them. You know what I mean?
I feel you. So okay, that was a good strategy to get yourself out of the situation. Of course, when you want to get out the first term, you're like, this ain't where is it at, G.
Yeah.
So you had a plan, which was, you know, have 3 months in, which is good because anything can happen, you know. Um,
Hmm.
some people do 6 months, some people do to a year. My goal
Yeah.
is to have 6 months though, you know, but it's baby steps to get to that. But definitely once you had exit the service after you do like, you know, 7 to 8 years, was you already skillful in the skills that you're doing right now?
Hell no. Hell
Explain.
no. No way. No way, bro. No, no, no. When I got out, right? My initiative was not to create products. My initiative was not to get better with these. I knew nothing about NFTs. I knew nothing about investing. I knew zero, absolutely zero. I only knew um, what I heard from other people in the service who had already started, right? So when I got out, I was doing nothing that I'm doing now. When I got out, I knew I wanted a few things, so I went to accomplish those things. I knew when I got out, I wanted a degree, so I finished that first year I got out. Finished an associate's from National University. I knew I wanted a rental property. I knew I wanted a house, right? So I went and got that first year I got out, right? I knew that I wanted to work on myself physically, so I worked on that. Like my whole first year out of the service was me investing in me, right? I put all my time back into me and growing and finding things that I like, right? So the first year, was me just building assets, right, and making myself into an asset. But then in the course of that, I found other things that I liked, right? I realized, okay, like, bro, I'm not the 9 to 5 guy. I've been a hustler all my life. That's what I know how to do. You know what I mean? So I wanted to get back towards those things, but I wanted to do something different in the streets. I needed something different. And then during this space, things kind of took off with intellectual property, right? So I just started looking at different avenues. Well, what am I good at already? Like, what skills do I have already? I know I can speak to people. I know I can talk all day. I know I can motivate, right? I'm a good listener, right? I just started looking at the skills I already had. And then I went and looking for things that those skills would be useful in, right? And I came across stocks. I came across pallet flipping. I came across renting out items that you own, right? I came across ebooks. I came across all these things where people were just leveraging what they had and what they knew already. And I was like, bro, I didn't did a lot of this stuff. I'm good at a lot of these things that people are already using to make money. I need to invest in that. I need to put my time in that. So that's what I did.
So it's like intellectual property, pretty much, that they were leveraging. You had intellectual property already. All you had to do was leverage. That's what you're saying.
All I had to do was leverage it and find a place to use it.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a little tour on the side real quick and go to the chat. We got a brother named Savings Minds Dead up in here. He wanted to ask you personally. Said, do you have any student debt or personal debt
I
that you're
don't have
in?
any debt now. I had student loan debt. I paid off the final. Well, when I went into the service, right? Crazy story. I went into the service, and I had already had college credit because I went to Sam Houston State University when I got out of high school. And you know, when you join, and you have a certain amount of points. They enter you into their loan repayment program, and you get a higher rank. Well, I had enough credits to enter into the program. Well, you don't need credits to enter into the program, but I was entered into the program according to my recruiter, but never really was. Dude never put in the paperwork, so I was never a part of it. Secondly, I had enough credits to come in as an E3, but again, Buddy never put it in the paperwork. I was a number to him, so
Oh, dang.
I came in as an E1. So once I got
Crucial.
in, I was like, well, my recruiter was supposed to do this, and for me. What happened? Like, why am I not? Why is these? Why are they not? Why are these things not happening for me? They were like, well, there's no proof. There's nothing we can do. I came in a little bit mad about that student
Yeah.
loan debt because I was looking for Uncle Sam to pay that back, so I wouldn't have to. So over my 7 years, I spent that 7 years paying off student loan debt. I had somewhere like $12,000 in student loan, and was paying that back, and I paid it off I want to say 2000, between 2017 no, I want to say 2019. I paid it off early, and I learned something about it. I learned, it hurt my credit when I paid it off. My last payment was, get this right, my last payment was $2019 in 2019, and so once I saw it, I was like, you know what? Take this little chunk of my savings. It's cool. Have it. My credit decreased. I think it was like 10 to 12 points. So I was a little upset about that. So I had to do some digging around and find out, the banks like to see credit bureaus like to see revolving credit. So me paying off a large lump sum like that, it caused negative marks. I was a little upset about it. I didn't understand, but it is what it is. But now, no, the only debt I have now is on the property I own, and that's not a debt because it's being paid for. So yeah.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Represent. I feel you. I feel you. So you saying when you had got out the military, right? You pretty much had to start from square one again. First of all, we all, like how LJ Savings Minds Debt said, and how I believe you believe. We all are our own asset. Nothing could be turned into an asset unless we turn ourselves into an asset. So you had worked on yourself. You got yourself right, and now you had bumped your head a couple of times through the stocks process. I'm assuming, right? You want
Absolutely, bro.
to you want to talk about that more?
Absolutely, bro. I
You go
started
ahead.
so I was already in the stocks. I was in the dividend stocks, basically where the company pays you back some interest, or they give you a return for owning a few shares. So I had already
Yeah.
been doing that. But I wanted to find a way to get quicker returns and higher returns. So I was just Googling and came across options. And when I came across options, I just started doing more research on it. I started with like $200, bro. I started trading with $200, and ran up a bag within the first like 6, 7 months. Then
Okay.
lost it all.
You
And
lost it
lost it
all.
all. Lost it all, bro. Lost it
Dang.
all, and had to start back over with $200. So a lot of times when people first get into stocks, they disgruntled. If you lose everything, you disgruntled, you mad. But I couldn't be mad because one, it was a learning lesson. I learned what not to do. I learned what to look for, right? And then two, if I ran up a bag once with $200, I can do it again with $200. And so that's what I do. Even now, once I reach a certain point or a certain number, I take my money out, go invest it in something, start back over with $200. I'm always starting over from every I want to say 6, 7 months. I'm starting over with $200 on purpose to remind
Okay.
myself of the grind.
All right, not to cut you off real quick. I just want to know, what did you learn not to do when you had lost that bag from that $200 investment?
I learned not to rush. I learned not to anticipate what the market is doing. I learned not to listen to anybody who says the market is going to do this specifically. There is there are a few things that are definite in the market, and knowing exactly where price is going to go is not one of them. You can never know. All with the stock market, realistically, you can only infer, guess, and react. You can only react, right?
Okay.
So that was the first lesson. Those were the first lessons I learned when I first got clapped. You can only react. So with that, I kind of switched up my strategy a little bit, developed a better trading plan for myself, um, and added a few rules. Added a few rules to my trading plan.
Okay, so you mean by react? I'm believing you talking about, let's say if something, for instance, I remember you talking about like that Travis Scott thing that happened in Texas. You look and you like, well, what's gonna happen? And you Live Nation, which is above Rock Nation, you know
Yeah,
that you was like, they about to go down off this. So that's what you talk about with react.
react. Absolutely. So I give you an even more recent example, right? Um, it was just announced on the news, right, this past week about the Omicron. You know what Omicron is? I don't want to say it because I know people videos be getting flagged when you mention
Nah,
certain
I don't
things.
know what that is. Hold on. You said Omni OMNI?
Right. Omicron is the new vid variant,
Okay.
right? When that was announced, when it was announced that it was a new vid variant, right? Companies started closing their borders, businesses shut down, right? It scared the whole world, scared the crap out of the whole world, and the market tanked. Friday, if you pull up any chart, most charts went down Friday, yeah. All because the world was scared. What do we do? How do we handle this? What happens because of this? Uh, You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
get you saying.
you can only react to the market, right? Once that news was put out, once everything started closing their borders, right? You as a trader, you have to know how this can affect the market. If people are scared, people are taking their money out of assets, it's going to cause these assets to fall.
Okay, I you say so. The majority, the masses, let's say in America, we all, not me really much, kinda for
Right.
business purposes, but most people look at the news, and when they see something like that, their first reaction is like they go off of the news. So that's how you think of it. It's like if they see this, they're gonna react like this. So let me go ahead and look at these stocks or these options right here.
Exactly. Like certain things, they're going to have an effect on the market. Like a new variant, market's going to go down because they don't have no way to. They don't have no way or they don't have a plan to counteract this new variant, right? Then other things like such as Joe Biden signed an infrastructure bill, right? Basically to give money back to EVs, to give money back to these building companies. So things like Home Depot, Lowe's, anything that has to do with building, right? He was giving them money. Once that bill was signed, or before that bill was signed, the hype had these stocks increasing in price, all because of a rumor, right? All because of it was rumored that he was going to sign the bill. So yeah, I definitely pay attention to the news because I know certain things that happen they're going to have an effect on this market, and you just have to be on the right side and catch the trend, and recognize a pattern.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's pretty much Is that, would you say that's like 50 or 80% of your strategy right there, or?
It'll be hard to give it a number, but
Okay.
I can give it an outlook. Actually, 50%. I say 50.
Okay.
I say 50 because every morning I'm looking for news on all these stocks that I'm interested in. Every morning I need to know what they're doing, what's going on with them. Then I'm also looking at global news, what's going on around the world.
Okay.
What are these presidents talking about doing? What are they investing in? What's going on with their countries? Are their countries shutting down? Do they have a new variant? Are they investing in new companies? Are they investing into the future of this world, basically? Always, every day, every day. I stay in these news networks.
Okay, so you probably got like about 4 different screens of different news like that, or you just go one by one?
Oh,
Because you
I just
said
use.
global, that was a big one. That's a big step right there. That's something about, it could be oil, it could be about silver, it could be about pipes in Alaska or something. That's where I believe you could get like a big come up off when I think about it with global stuff.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, absolutely. You gotta pay attention to the global news, right? Because after our market closes, another market opens, and after that market closes, another market opens. You know what I mean? And all these markets, I don't want to say they follow each other, but if something bad happens in one market, it could have an effect on another, right? And that
Okay.
could have an effect on ours as well. So you need to be aware of what's going on elsewhere in the world. You have to be, which is again why I was happy about when I look back. I'm happy about my time in the service because I traveled to many places and I got to gain a global aspect or a global outlook of other places, and that carries on today. I still keep contact with people from those places. I still look at news and interactions and things that are going on with their government in those places.
That's deep right there. That's deep. Now, another question for you. When do you realize when you was doing that 200 and you was like, running it up to a bag? When do you realize, sound effect, when you was like, you know what? I'm actually good at this. You know what? I'm doing straight. Like I'm doing real good. When did that hit you?
um, it still hasn't hit me, but I think I was awakened to the fact that I might be kind of like cold at this stuff when somebody messaged me. This was I want to say like 4 months ago, and it was like, bro, that trade that you was talking about paid my rent. But it hit me up and he said it paid his rent, and I was like, it caught me by surprise for a second. I was like, something I did pay somebody rent? What? And then like a week later,
Yeah.
it was a lady, a woman hit me up. She was like, your trade paid my car note. I was like, what? I'm just sharing my ideas. I'm not telling people when to get in or when to get out of a trade. I just share my ideas. I'm looking at this. I think it can go this way or this way. Watch for the trigger. Watch for the trigger. And I paid somebody's rent and then paid somebody's car note just from my ideas. And then on top of that, I got to the point where I was making like $100 a day, which is my goal now, right? I'm not trying to do nothing $10,000, even though it can be done. $100 a day. And once I was doing that like every day, back to back to back, and I was paying people bills, I was like, whoa, this I need to go harder on this. I need to study more. I need to learn more. I need to learn how to get better because I like the way that feels. I like being able to help people, especially if it's doing stuff like paying their rent. I was like, okay, that's why in the past, I want to say in the past 4 months, I've been a lot more verbal online with my ideas because I know the power of sharing. Sharing
Well,
can be extremely beneficial for others. Yeah. So I
and
said I want to
networking.
do more. I wanted to do more.
And another thing I want to speak on, what you saying, people think that might be a little, but $100 a day without having a 9 to 5, that on I look at that as internet money. Or like, you probably lay your head down and you wake up whenever you want to, and you look and it's like around that $100 mark you making every day. That is a big goal I actually want to achieve. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it
I
helps.
don't.
And then,
Yeah,
and on top of that, imagine if you're doing $100 a day with like four or five side hustles, right?
yeah,
You don't need to make $300-400 off one when you can get $100 from four. Four
yeah.
hundred dollars. Some people don't get paid that in a week.
Exactly. I know what you're talking about. That's a big, like, you people probably think that you put all your eggs in one basket with that $100 a day. You just said earlier in this chat that you got like 4 or 5 different hustles. So
Absolutely,
yeah, so that right there, that's a big help. That's like a big, like, without you having to
absolutely,
stay in one spot from 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. That's goals right there, my brother.
absolutely. Yo, I knew once I got out of service how important it was going to be for me to develop myself in other skills, especially if I didn't want to get a job. Like even now, I told myself I didn't want to get a job when I got out,
Hmm.
but now that I've invested into myself and I'm learning, I kind of want a job. I do want a job now, but something where I can work on like 4 or 5 hours, like 3 to 4 days a week, only because one, um, I kind of want a little bit more structure, and then two, I want to learn more about the inner workings of a growing business. I need to learn
Okay,
that,
I get what you're saying.
and I feel like I can definitely learn that on my own, but I can learn faster if I go somewhere who already has a process. Because then from there, it's just tweaking the process, making it my own, implementing it into my own uh, works, resources, and growing. Right. And then it never hurts to have more money to invest with. It never hurts to have more money to invest with.
I say that because shouts out to Mofax. He's in the chat. He's one of my mentors, and he told me it's the similar mindset you got was the founder of Motown Records. I believe his name was Ben Gordon. He had worked for Ford. When Ford, the V8 engine block back then, they were like popping.
Right.
He
Right.
had worked. He worked as I believe, it was a manager or something, and he saw the assembly line about how Ford had, passed the parts down. They connected it, and they keep passing it down. And he had took that idea from Ford factory and he put that in Motown Records, where you like, we got the songwriters here, we got the studio right here, we got the backup dancers right here. So when you had said that you feel like that's actually I salute you for saying that, because some people be like, man, F a job, I'm doing my thing with the woo.
Yeah.
But you saying that you want to, like, have a little job that's like 4 to 5 hours to help you structure a business. That's what it had remind me of. And you gonna go places with that.
That's yeah. I had that mindset too, bro. I was like, forget a job, I'm not doing it. Even now I still tell myself I don't want a job, but the more and more I get into my own and creating my own pieces of, wealth essentially, um, I see the importance of knowing how to grow and scale a business. And I know I can get more of that if I go get a quick little part-time job and learn from what they're doing.
Okay, so it's like your mind. How some people, I was a victim to this when I first had my couple of jobs being young. Like, man, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it well. Okay, just this is what I need to learn. I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna master it. I'm gonna do it well, and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna leave. But as I got older, then it's like, hold on, I'm doing this. I'm getting paid this. I see he's getting paid twice as much, but he's doing that, and it made me be like, hold on. So how does this all work? So
Yeah,
I get you saying,
yeah,
yeah, look, yeah. Like, how do you have the confidence to be like, hey, because if that truck don't make it here in the morning, like 70% of that menu right there is done. Y'all, y'all pretty much shut down for the day. So how can you rely on that? So that's why I've been thinking. I see what you're talking about with that. That actually can help you definitely scale a business, because I know scaling, it sounds easy, but I don't, I'm not like, I don't have that much knowledge as business as you do, but I believe scaling is very risky and difficult if you don't know what the heck you're doing.
Right,
Like just
right.
yeah.
Like I'm in
So
the point. So I'm in my. This is my first year, right, of creating digital products, and being creating a service and putting that information out for other people. So I'm doing everything myself, and I know in order to grow, I can't stay like that.
yeah.
I can't stay
Okay.
like that. But in order for me to learn, how to grow right, how to bring the right people into my circle, how to teach people the right way, or an efficient way of completing my processes, I need to go learn and see how big businesses do it. I need to see how they do it, so I can take their process and create my own from it.
That's deep, because it's like right now you got a intellectual product that you selling, but you know that you eventually you're gonna have to hire some people to help, post it or
Hmm.
help people customer service, because that's part of scaling right there. So I get what you saying about that. Some people be having that mindset. I see some people who hop in the game, and when I mean the game, it's like entrepreneur, however you want to call it. They be like, I'm gonna do all this and make a lot of money. I'm gonna do it myself, and it's like, nah, bro. The people who, the people who are up there, like I keep butchering his name, Bezos, and Elon Musk and all them. They have to have other people who are efficient. They rely on other people. They can't do it all
Right,
by themselves. They have the
right.
ideas. So,
You
let me see what LJ said. My bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Only bring people into your circle that are debt free, like yourself, personally debt free.
I mean, yeah, I mean that'll be definitely the goal, but to find people that are in similar situations, I know that's going to be a task in itself. And you can't expect everybody to have a similar situation to you. And I really don't, because um, I feel like with my circle and the circle that I want to build, I want to grow with people, right?
Okay.
So I pay attention to people that join like my study group that study with me in stocks. I pay attention to the people who are active. I pay attention to the people who are learning and making money, because I know when I'm ready to grow, those are going to be some of the first people I reach out to, right? Because they understand the struggle. They understand that it takes time to get to where you want to be. And two, they've grown with me. So they see how I operate. They know how I move. They know how I create. They know a little bit about how I think. So those people, I feel like, would have a higher understanding of how to work with me and complete the things that I want done.
Okay, that's deep. That's actually a good idea right there. So talk about more about your study group, man. Like the digital property that you got, the product I meant.
So I'll tell you how it developed first. So
All right.
when I was trading, when I first started trading stocks, um, I was I was looking for a way to like get ahead of the curve, right? So I always wanted to know where put people putting their money before the stock market opens, right? So I could potentially know where things are going to go up or down once the stock market does open, right? I also wanted to know, like, instead of me having to type in tickers, basically companies, every second to find out which one is moving up, which one is moving up, and going from stock to stock to stock to stock, right? I wanted to know which ones are moving right now over a certain amount of percentage, where I can get into a day trade, get in and get out, because I like to day trade Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Um, and then once I noticed that for myself, I noticed other people wanted the same things, right? So my very first digital product, I sought to create something to answer these questions for people and for myself, because I'm a trader, right? So I ended up within like my first 9 months of trading, I just noticed a few things about stocks pre-market, right? I noticed a few variables that were consistent. So I created a scanner through the Thinkorswim platform by TD Ameritrade that
Yeah.
looked for those variables, right? And I called it my pre-market scanner. And so what that does is it lets me know where the most active stocks are before the market even opens. So it gives me a list of stocks. Hey, look at these, chart these, figure out what's going on with these. Look at the news on these, figure out what's going on with these, right? So aside from my own watch list, I have a scanner that creates a watch list for me. And now I have other options that I can research, right? And potentially find a good trade. And then the second scanner I created was a 2% increase scanner. And what it does is it shows me all the runners. So when the stock market opens, like 5 minutes after the stock market opens, if something increases above a certain percentage, I know about it because it popped up on my scanner. And all I have to do is go to that chart, right? Chart it out, pick out some levels, find some levels where I think it could reject or bounce, right? And boom, now I have another watch list creating trades. And so I created these two scanners that answered two questions for people, right? And then I tested it. Not only with myself, I was in at the time, I was in a trading group that had something like 4,000 people. And I gave it to everybody for free. I gave it to everybody. And we all in that group, like 4,000 people, used that scanner for like 3 months. We used both of those scanners for 3 months. And people was like, yo, this works. This helps me out. And then I started learning other things about the scanners, right? I started learning that I could use it to verify my own watch list, right? So things I was already watching. If it pop up on that pre-market scanner, then pop up on that 2% increase scanner, that means I was able to find a high probability trade. That means I'm noticing things that are happening in the market before they even happen. That's a bonus. That's a
Yeah.
bonus. So once it was tested, once I learned different ways to use it, once I talked to people who had used it about the ways that they used it, I knew I need to put this out. I need to put this out to people. So I created the stock market stimulus package. And if you click the link in my bio, you'll see it. And you get both of those scanners, right? And then I also knew that with those scanners, people needed to understand risk and they needed to have a plan for themselves when they made trades. So as a bonus, as a free bonus, I added my personal trading plan that came with rules that I follow for myself as a trader, that I do my best not to break, that I try to live by. And these rules I created from just learning. Like number one on my trading list is what does your budget allow for you to invest, right? So
Yeah.
basically, how much money can you allot to your trading account every month? If all you have is $20 every month to put into your trading account, you don't have to trade, but you can build up your account slowly. Put twenty
Yeah.
dollars in there a month until you got $500, until you have $200. But during this whole time, just learn, stay learning, so that way when you're ready to trade, you can trade, right? So I put that package together, and in 2 weeks, excuse me, not 2 weeks, 2 months, I made $10,000, right? From my idea, from just building the skill, paying attention to what I needed, and then paying attention to what other people needed, and then packaging it, marketing it, and then finding a way to distribute it. Right, in 2 months, I made another 10K from my intellectual property. Right, and so then I realized, I had another skill, and that's is leading me to my next product, which I'm releasing December 24th. It's called IMW iPhone Money, and I'm going to show people exactly how I made that $10,000. Right, I'm going to show people exactly how I did it. It's not some long drawn out 100-page book. I'm getting to the facts, straight to the facts, and I'm going to give people actionable steps they can take to create the same thing or something similar to what I created, and then make money from it, just from their ideas.
So yeah, you got another skill at creating it, showing your intellectual property and marketing it, because marketing is the main key for people to see it You know, people, because let's say for me, let's say I have the same intellectual property as you, but people might not have like the way I talk or how I, market it. So that's why it's not being
Mhm.
effective. But you right there, that's another skill that you got, another talent. I want to go back to the Think or Swim by TD Ameritrade. So with those scanners, I know those scanners come, very in handy, especially where you said which one have the most not volatile, but the most activity within the each companies. And you said if it's an increase past 2%, that could help be on your waiting list so you could like watch the news on it and everything and make your decision on
Mhm.
trading on it.
Right.
Okay,
The two
definitely.
percent
So
increase scanner, right? So, the 2% increase scanner, it lets me know what's moving right now, what's increased over a certain percentage right now. Basically, what's a good day trade right now.
okay,
Um,
got you.
and then from there, again, you just look up information on it, find out why it's moving, find out your levels, where it could reject, where it could continue it, and then you make a trade. Based
I
off your
feel
own due diligence.
I feel like some people in the chat might not understand what you're talking about, but if I promise, if y'all look at a couple of YouTube videos on TD Ameritrade scanner or Think or Swim, accounts, you'll kind of get an idea what he's talking about. It's pretty much like you doing your homework ahead of time, so you already got
Hmm.
a watch list instead of looking. I think they call it a naked eye, when you just look at something with no scanners or nothing on it,
Yeah, with no indicators.
no indicators. I meant, yeah. So you definitely on point with that right there. Like you, of course, you got more experience than I do, but for some reason, I think it was a while ago. I've been looking at videos on YouTube, and that's when those phrases you said popped in my head, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember watching a video about that. But I'm glad we brought that up because I saw a recent story, and I'm not trying to be on no dang messy stuff or nothing, but definitely go ahead and talk about an individual that you thought, because I thought he was official,
I
and then
thought
you
so too,
had,
bro.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So we could get into it, man. Let's go ahead. Like
So
do your thing.
I don't want to touch on it too much, but I
All
do
right.
want to say, um, you got to pay attention to what people say, and more importantly, pay attention to what they do. Um, Especially if they claim that they for the community, right?
Oh yeah.
If they claim they're for the community, they're gonna do things for the community, and it's not gonna cost you an arm and a leg. It's not gonna break your pockets. It's not gonna leave you um, feeling like you're being ripped off. Not to say that anybody feels like that, but you got to pay attention to these people. I ain't got no problem saying the name Wall Street Trapper. Like
Yeah, man. I don't know why kids. Why you trying to
I
test
ain't got no
people with
problem
water?
saying the name.
Yeah.
Um,
I felt that. Go ahead.
so I ain't got no problem saying the name.
Don't mind him. He a brother from us. He from New York. New York people,
Okay.
they like to be direct, like almost
Yeah,
disrespectful.
I
It's like what the,
understand.
yeah, so you already know the vibes. It's all love.
I
Go ahead though.
understand.
All
So
right.
yeah, I like people that know me. I have a list of people like I don't trust, and I
Okay.
thought Buddy was legit. I thought he was legit. Um, but I had to add him to my do not trust list. I had to
Damn.
add him. I had to strictly because and if you watch my story, you'll see. I remember when Buddy first showed up on the scene and he was talking financial literacy. I'm like, yeah, I feel it. I like that, right? But he was talking specifically about stocks. And I remember him saying several times he did not trade stock options. He didn't mess with stock options.
Yeah.
And it's never anything wrong with learning something new or teaching something new once you're proficient at it. You're supposed to grow, right? But I feel like you can't go um, and study with somebody else, learn their processes, and the way that they work, right? And then come out with a course for $3,000 like you're proficient at it. Brother, you haven't been trading options that long. One. Two, I don't think you can learn. Well, I don't want to say I don't think you can learn. I don't think it's right because I haven't bought it, so I'm interested in what's in his packages. But I feel like I feel like, brother, you just started in this. How are you gonna charge somebody $3,000 to learn this information? And aside from that, right? How do we know you're proficient in this? Right? How we know you're proficient in what you're talking about? I haven't seen anybody say they made some money off of option play. I haven't seen anything on his page where he gave out an option play, somebody took it and they made money. Most people who trade options, who are proficient at it, who market it or have a course um, on their page, right? They put out the information. They put out multiple plays a week, right, for free. They put out information every week for free, and it makes people money. And they doing it for less than $50, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know millionaires. My mentor, my personal mentor, is a millionaire, and he taught me for less than $50. He taught me the
Yeah.
game for less than $50. So I know for a fact, anybody coming off back who just learned from somebody else, you just learned from somebody else, ain't no way in hell you can teach me what you just learned, not for no $3,000.
Okay, I get what you're coming at because I've been following him when he first came out of prison, and he had told a story about how somebody else was in there for a white collar crime, said you doing it wrong and the inspiration and all that. But he did say multiple times he don't do options trading. But that's kind of, let's say for instance, that's like me saying that I take one of your course and I learn what you do, and then I come over here and be like, hey, we got this little Grump portfolio thing. You know what I'm saying? It's going for $100 a month. It's pretty much just like how where did I gain the confidence and the experience so quick?
Right.
You've been doing it for years, you know what I'm saying? I get
I
it.
just feel bad for people who buy into that, especially when there's people like Chris Johnson teaching
Yeah.
for $45 a month, and he's a millionaire. He teaches for 45, and he's a millionaire with options, right? He's
Yeah.
proven with options, right? And then
Okay.
he also has instructors or leaders in his group, right? Who I started with, who taught me, right? Who give
Yeah.
out plays every week, who have free streams, who have their own courses, and who taught me and thousands of other people, right? And they're charging less than $50. And then lastly, it's fucking YouTube, bro.
Yeah, you two got it all. Yeah, there we go right there, man. Go ahead.
It's YouTube. YouTube can teach you everything you need to know about stock options. The only thing it can give you is experience. You get experience from joining a community. You get
Yeah.
experience from finding a mentor, from somebody who's already trading, and you can review your trades. You can review your ideas, bro. Ain't no way, there's no way that any stock option course, not one, should be priced at $3,000. Bro, at that point, you're a gatekeeper.
Okay, I know what you mean by gatekeeper. Like you just holding intellectual property and you overpricing it for your own benefit. And on top of that, you saying you're doing stuff for the community. And when we mean by community, we talk about black people and all that. You know, like that word hits more hard when you have somebody who look like me and you and be like, I'm here for the people, and they're doing similar activities like that. That's not a good look. Appreciate you,
Right.
sophisticated.
Right, bro. When I saw that, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I went in on them a little bit, but it was justified. I feel like it was justified. And like I said, I feel bad for anybody who buys that $3,000 course, because they can buy a $50 course. Not even forget that they can join a community that costs $25 to $50 and get a lifetime of learning, and can learn with people and invest that
And
other
network.
$2,000, right? I'm
Yeah.
proof. I know thousands of traders. I said hundreds yesterday. I know thousands that are proof of the fact, right? So it wasn't something I had to add him to my list, bro. I had to add him of people that I don't trust list. I had to add him.
And he had that good, like I look at the port, you know how they got the little, it's like when you go to a club, you got a flyer. He got a good flyer with the graphic design on it. It looked official. It's like, dang, bro. But when I know from experience that something could look like eye candy all they want to, but the information and all that could just be fugazi or just overcharged. So yeah, that's
And
another thing.
I just feel like you're not going for somebody who hasn't traded options very long. And for somebody who was against options, I don't feel like you're going to get any information that you couldn't get from YouTube. And that's just a
Yeah,
personal feeling. It just
yeah.
might be some other stuff in there, but I don't I have a high doubt. Look, somebody in your chat says Aristotle does this. Aristotle has his own trading group, right? But Aristotle still put out plays every week.
Oh,
He
Aristotle.
lets you
Okay.
know. He lets you know he about it. He lets you know how to make this money. He'll explain on his live and on his page multiple times how he did something, right? And that's why he's a leader in the space.
Let me see if
I
that's the
can't
one. Go ahead.
I can't trust nobody who hasn't done that. And I sure wouldn't pay him no $3,000.
Yeah. Okay, so I never heard of Aristotle. I heard this other dude. It was this white guy on YouTube, and his name is Trading something. He be giving the game too. But Aristotle, I gotta look into him also. So
Oh,
you
check
saying
out
that he
Aristotle, bro.
official?
Yeah, check out
Okay.
Aristotle. Official people, I give you four off the top of my head. Aristotle, Chris Johnson. There's my
Shouts out to
mentor,
Chris Johnson. Yeah.
Kid Kelly.
Kid
Um,
Killer.
and then it's this guy named Seven Matos. Seven's a great trader, y'all. Seven's a really great trader. And there are countless others. There's Ray the Strat Uchia. There's I Curly K. There's Sarah the Strat Trader. I can go for days. I can go for days of great traders who charge less than $60 to learn from them.
Okay. I see. I think that's what LJ saying about you. Like you ain't went to no bank and got a loan and try to put because some people been doing that. You realize
Oh,
that? I
I
remember a
want
while
to.
ago.
I want to because I know
Okay,
I
but
can
that's business. That's business. Then now you go into business credit. You ain't because the reason why I'm very specific with this because Savings Mind's Day. I did a live with him a couple of times, and oh my gosh, he's a calculator. Okay, he trusts math. So when we say people be trying to go at him talking about FULJ, I could damn put a loan on this car and make my money back within 6 months, but they try to put their business credit with personal credit because and they still got personal debt. So you, on the other hand, you talking about business credit type, like you can
I
flip.
want
Okay.
to, bro. I'm not even gonna front you. I want to. It's crossed my mind several times. It's like, man, I got good credit. I got good business credit. I can easily go get a business loan, flip that money, pay them back, and then be good. I think about it. I do consider it.
I feel you. That's
Um,
that's that's another league though, but you don't, it took you time to get on that level right there. So I just don't want people in the chat to be like, oh, what? You could do that? Let me do that now. Nah, it's a
but
different way.
with stock options, well, really not just with stock options, with everything. With everything, you got to go through the clappage. You got to get beat up a little bit. You got to take them lessons. I don't want to call them lessons. You got to take them lessons. You got to take a few hits on the chin to know how it feels to get back up. So you can always get back up.
So that helped build you who you is. That's like well, shouts out to Mo Facts about 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He been going off that book. You doing a seventh habit, which is sharpening the saw. So talk about your loss. How you stop it. I remember you said something about if it get lower than $20, you cut it off a meal. You don't care.
Absolutely, it got to go. So
Explain.
for me, right? What percentage? Like this is in my trading plan in the stock market stimulus package, stock scanner stimulus package. What percentage of a trade are you willing to lose before you say enough is enough? And this is actually a two-sided thing, right? So what percentage are you comfortable with gaining before you say enough is enough, right? So you get into a trade, it goes up 100%, 200%, 300%. It can keep going. Yes, you can keep making money, right? But if it goes back to zero, you left holding the bag with no money in your hand. You have to be comfortable with taking profit at a certain point, whether that's 20%, 30%, all the way up to 100. Because you think about it, you hitting 20% on each trade, that adds up. Even if it's only 20%, that adds up. And then the same goes for losses, right? If a trade goes down 10%, 20%, 30%, how much are you willing to bleed before you cut it? For me, it's around 20%. Once I lose 20% on a trade, it's not an effective trade. It didn't go the way I wanted. Yes, it could bounce back later, but I can always get back in later. You know what I mean? I can always get back in, but I can't get back in if I don't have no money. If I don't have no money to trade with, I can't get back in. So it's just it's a personal thing for me. My risk management, my risk level is about 20%. If a stock goes down if my trade goes down about 20%, I gotta cut it. And that's just a personal thing that you develop as you grow as a trader, right? What's the amount that you're willing to lose?
That's good. So that pretty much those principles that you go by, that helps you not get excited. Because let's say, I know there've been times before you had developed those principles that you probably went up big, like dang, and you probably done put another investment in. You like, you know what, it's going down $40-$50, but hey, it's going to bounce back up, and that will cause you to be discombobulated, like no structure was what you're saying.
Yeah. When those trades will go down, right, and I will buy more into them because I'm thinking they're going back up, but they never come back up. It's like, okay, something got to change. I'm doing something wrong, or I'm not noticing something. Something got to change. That's all I knew. So that's how I ended up developing these rules for myself to follow with this trading plan. And I think out of the stock market stimulus package, the scanners are great. That trading plan it ain't nothing like it. That trading plan cold. You need to have some structure for yourself in this market. With trading, you have to have some structure with yourself.
Okay, so this is your link tree off of Instagram, and I had clicked on it. And which those of y'all right here, this is his link tree. Matter of fact, let me drop it in the chat down below so people can see what we talking about. I have put your IG profile in my description, but I'm gonna copy and paste your IG profile in the chat right now so people could go to it real quickly.
Okay.
All right, so in the chat, that's his link tree right there, and I just had dropped his Instagram. I am Winston. You just go ahead, click on both of those, and open up on another tab, and y'all could check bro out, because right now I'm on your link tree. Which one you want me to like? Which one you want me to observe for the people?
So let's start from the top. The university, right?
Okay. Oh dang, I forgot. It opened up another tab, so I gotta go ahead and go.
That's cool.
University. Boom, here it is. This is it. Y'all see it? All right.
We
good.
With the IMW University Study Group, what it is right now, the traders that are in this group, they're already part of bigger communities, right? But they felt like, they needed a little bit extra, or they wanted to learn specifically with me. So in this group, we have weekly meetups where we talk about basically the market. So they learn all those things that he highlighted, right? They learn trading terms. They learn what are options. They learn different types of analysis. They learn my specific tips, right? They learn chart patterns. They learn when I make a mistake, they learn about it, right? They learn my pre-market routine. They learn what I do once the market opens. They learn how I find setups. And that's the university, right? Those are people who want to learn those things from me and grow specifically with me. The community that I'm a part of, which I absolutely love this community. I love this community, hands down, is Profit Rocket Trading Group. Now there, bro, you're gonna find some of the baddest jokers in the land when it comes to trade, right? There's DT, right? DT is you cannot find a robot who gives better news than DT. You have Wealth Hunter, Hunter Cole with those spreads. That's a different type of way of option trading, and she does amazing at explaining those type of trades and more. Right? You have Seven. Seven is a great trader, bro. You have Angel Options, who runs the day-to-day, the day trading. So she shares her screen live, and you can trade with her. You have Chef Money. Now, Chef, hey, Chef be cooking for real. That's why he the chef. You have Kid Killy in there, and if you don't know who that is, shame on you. Shame on you. Uh, and then we have Jamal, Soulful King, super amazing trader, great technical analysis, pretty entertaining guy too. It's so many great traders in there who provide information, who share their ideas. Oh, I can't forget about Christina. Christina's when I can't speak highly enough of Christina and her trades. But Profit Rocket is the community. And there are always people there to answer your questions. There are always people there to learn with you. And then the thing about it is just for being in the right place at the right time, you get a lot of free stuff. You get a lot of free, like with setups. You'll mess around, end up with a one-on-one just because you was on the voice chat at the right time. Just because you popped in on the weekend and somebody was in there studying and you hopped in to study with them.
Okay. Networking
I'm
good.
going on my own, and I know it's always important to focus on self, but at some point in time, if you want to advance and go further, you need a community. And for me, this is the one. I've been there since it started. I've been a part of it since it started. I'm more so active now. And I share my ideas in there as well, just like every other great trader there. And there are some great traders. Like the leaders of this group are amazing. Then we have Bilal. Bilal is, whoa, what can I say? What can I say? I love that group. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Okay, so that's all in your link tree right there for people who want to definitely take it to another step, because when they go on that YouTube and they see how the keywords and the stuff that you're saying, and when they understand that, if they want to take it further, they definitely could check you out right there.
Mm-hmm.
I realize, yeah, you got to have like a community will help, because a community, you could network within that community and that could strengthen you up even more, I believe. So yeah, that's definitely respect right
Mm-hmm.
there. And so okay, my other question to you is dang, it was a shot, I should have wrote it down, but it has something to do with the trade. Okay, I remember it. It's you said, remember you saying you was doing $200 and you was getting into the bag and you was resetting it. Um is there what's how do I explain it? Explain how can somebody get profit off of investment, when they go on when they invest in stocks or they do trade options or something over time. How can somebody get their profit and still have a good investment amount of money in there? If you get what I'm saying.
Um, I get what you're saying. So again, this all that all depends on your specific trading plan and how you like to trade as a trader. All right. So here's an example, right? Just to make it so people can understand, right? With stocks, you only lose and gain money once you sell, right? So let's say Nike. Let's say you buy Nike stock for $100 today, and tomorrow it goes down to $80. You don't lose $20 until you sell. Now let's say you hold it for one more day and it goes up $130, and now you initially bought it at 100, now it's at 130. You only gain $30 once you sell, right? Per share. It's sort of similar with options, but it's always important to remember you only gain and lose money once you sell. And the reason stocks and options, each one has their benefits, right? Stocks being that if things go down, you can always hold them till they come back up. Options, you have the occasional instant return. And like I said, it all depends on your risk, your tolerance, and your trading plan. For me, I'm fine with starting over with $200, right? Because if I lose $200, okay, cool. I go out, sell something, find something to flip. I get that. I'm gonna get that $200 back. It's gonna come back, and
Okay.
then I go back into that market, and I look for a more profitable trade, and I grow. I build off of it, build off of it, build off of it, build off of it. Constantly adhering to my rules, constantly adhering to my losses percentage, my risk tolerance, constantly adhering to what I've set forth for myself.
I respect that. Okay, I like how you explain it both right there. Definitely. Um, I'm about to say it's past the hour. I appreciate you for coming. Is there any last thing you want to cover or want to talk about?
No doubt, no doubt. Again, so he dropped my Instagram for y'all. Dropped all my products. What I'm focusing on next is teaching people how to create their own, right? And how basically teaching them how I was able to create my own. It's going to be called IMW iPhone Money, and it's going to be available December 24th as of right now. And we're gonna it's really simple. It's gonna be 5 things that we're gonna work on. We're gonna work on. I'm gonna tell you how I worked on myself. I'm gonna tell you how I changed the environment around me. I'm gonna tell you how I optimized my social media. I'm gonna tell you how I built a skill. I'm gonna tell you how I created my display pages, and then I'm going to tell you how I created my vehicle, right, of sale. So I didn't have to do anything myself, right? I didn't have to go physically give or hand out things to people. I just had them go click a link and they can purchase my product, right? I'm going to show people in an ebook exactly how I created these processes for myself. You said, but you got an Android though? Okay, cool. I might have to put, in small letters, iPhone and Android money. I got you.
I know. I get you.
But
I
the
think
reason,
you must have
iPhone
fun.
money, because I tell people all the time, bro, y'all paying $1,000 for this and can't even make $1,000 from it. And that's a
Mm,
problem. And it's not a
yeah.
problem I tell other people to have. It's a problem that I had. I had this $1,000 phone and couldn't make $1,000 from it. And this is a TV. This is a TV, bro.
You could put in your pocket and go everywhere with it. TV where you got control of the channels and all that and can communicate.
Exactly. You know how many people want to be on TV when they little? Better yet, you know how people want to be on TV now and don't even realize that they own TV?
A
Your
lot.
Instagram is a TV. Your social media is a TV. You posting food, you posting clothes, what you doing? Or you
TV, yeah.
posting yourself.
It's a channel, a network that you got yours. And I think about this real quick of people who was like in the 60s or 70s, like if they would have had this type of device, you know how back then it was so you had to get information from a book or reading a newspaper thoroughly or hearing a radio station. Now it's like Twitter. Like, yes, I get you saying though.
It's a
Everybody,
TV, bro. So I'm gonna use it how I noticed TVs were used when I was growing up. You put out a product, you catch people's attention, you market that product, and you grow. And you grow and you continue to grow. And you put it on repeat. You do it again and again and again and again until you have your process.
yeah. Salutes, man. I appreciate that. Definitely. I appreciate you for actually taking the time to stop by here, especially because you could have been like, I could have been like on some, hey man, I appreciate what you do. Can I, bring you on our platform to talk? You could have been like $100,000. You know what I'm saying? You could have just, I'd have been
No,
like,
it ain't no
oh,
issue,
respect.
man. It ain't no issue. I wouldn't mind stopping by giving people like a piece of my fundamentals course one day. That way they can get like some ground floor understanding about the stocks. You gotta let me know when.
Yeah, okay. I about to say, I mean, I appreciate you for coming. Hopefully it won't be your last time, but you see over here, we're trying to grow too. We're doing a lot of things, but
Yeah,
what you talking about could definitely play a big factor on people to reach financial freedom for real though. It depends on how much effort they put in because I don't want them. I actually been like that like a couple of years ago, actually in the military, where I see somebody, oh, you made what? You made $100 a day? You did what you do? And in my mind, I'm just thinking that what you do, like you do this, you do that, and boom. Nah, you gotta put some effort behind it also too. You
absolutely.
can't, it just ain't no magic pill you take. I think that was just me being immature, but as I got older, I realized that. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's out here. It's out here for us. We
Yes,
just
sir.
gotta be willing to put in the time and gain an understanding and build a skill. And once we do that, these pandemics, it won't make a difference because
Yeah.
we're gonna be able to make money on our own. We're gonna be able to support ourselves without having to worry about a business or a company, you know, laying us off.
I appreciate that, man. Miguel, shouts out Miguel. Hey,
Yeah, for real.
he put one of the most efforts on our platform right here. He watched like over 8 hours one day of us on here.
I
And
appreciate him. He said
he
he
said, I
followed me. I
trust,
appreciate every. I appreciate
yeah,
all of it.
I trust Grump enough to know he won't put just any dude up on here. So he legit based on Grump. Oh yeah, of course he gotta be. Yeah, I know for a fact he's speaking all that right language, and I see what he doing. And when he was on Charleston White Live, he was like, y'all must worry about this. That Travis Scott thing, I'm worried about this. And I was like, oh yeah, that's it right there. That's it.
But I was so hot on that show. I was hot because them fools.
Yeah.
I don't know what they was focused on. I'm like, bro, what y'all doing? One dude had his kids running around all over the place. Other dude was in and out the ice box. I'm like, bro, what is you? You
No
in front of
money.
somebody with 40,000 plus supporters and subscribers, and you don't hear what you talking about.
Man, that's messed up, man. That messed up, man. What they did, I don't think they should do that to Travis Scott, bro. You went up in there, you was like, bro. And then I follow you. I kept on asking, what's your IG? And finally, somebody gave it to me, and I went on. I saw your story. I'm like, oh yeah, brother, still hot too. He said, he was like, you said, y'all worry about this. I ain't getting no fucking money, this and that. I was like, dang, bro, that is true, man, because that's some childish. Only kids do stuff like that.
Yeah, them dudes, I could tell. The way I went in on that show, it was based really off the crowd and my emotions at the point. I can tell that a lot of them people in there, they hadn't been around nothing or anybody who was focused on anything that had to do with growth or like investing or creating specifically. And two, I could just tell, bro. Some of them dudes, they daddy talked to them the same way my pops talked to me. So I knew when I went in there, I had to talk to them like they pops because that's what they understood and that's what they resonated with. And it was real. It was true because a lot of people resonated with it. A lot of people understood, even though I was coming at them aggressively and direct, they needed that. They needed that fire. Like they was in that bullshit.
Hey, that's how you speaking to somebody who had a father in his life, being one of the lucky ones. So I understood where you was going at when you spoke like that. But some individuals who ain't actually blessed or lucky to have that in their life, they probably think that you was aggressive or
no, I knew when I was messing up, my pops was gonna come at me a certain type of way.
Oh yeah, of course.
Back on track. So even now, like if somebody I know could be doing better and they doing I'm gonna come at them that way. I'm gonna come at them that way.
It's tough love, man. Tough love for real. I'm glad that a good majority of the supporters who was on his channel understood where he was coming from. They could have easily write you off as, oh, look at this nigga, he over here, dang, trying to sell something or trying to, sell a dream. That's like that knee-jerk reaction, a defense mechanism, that's within our community that we use because we don't want to grow. That majority of us.
Absolutely. It was a good experience though. And I think a lot of people got a lot from it, even if they didn't decide to like invest in stocks. I talked about more than stocks where they should have gotten a piece of information that was useful for them, right? And even on my page, like anything I put out, I try to put out something useful. It's a useful piece of information, no matter how simple it might seem, right? Like I'm giving all types of information and game on my page, and I realize, bro, the best givers are cheerful givers, people who give out of the kindness of their heart. So people who give just to see other people benefit from it. And that's how I move. That's how I move with everything I do.
Deep. That's another thing I want the people in the chat to know, that when you go on his IG page or his whatever that he's live on, he don't just be like, hey, the market open and right here, CBS is talking about this and that. Nah, it's like you actually go more into like a philosophical approach kind of to it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you're going to teach us the stocks. That's your main thing. But it's like, I feel as though I get more than that. You know what I'm saying? Something that can actually help me the longevity of my life.
It's
Yeah.
always more because this shit, everything is tied into one another. The
Yeah.
same
It is.
discipline that you got to have in this market, you got to have with anything that you do. The same
Yeah.
time that you put into this market, you got to put into everything that you do if you want to be good at it.
And I like how you said it just like that, because the same this how I know you is official because you was like, if it get past $20, I don't care. And you've been up many times. You could have been like, oh, I let it go to $100 this once, but
Mm-hmm.
that teach me about your character and then the military background. So it's like you just don't do that same discipline with stocks, and when you get off it, you just cut it off. Nah, that's like with everything else in your life, and it's showing. You
It
know.
goes all over. It goes all over. Yeah. It goes all over.
Yeah, man. So, but again, I appreciate you. I ain't gonna try to hold you up any longer, man.
No.
Yeah, definitely go ahead and subscribe to bro right here. He got I drop his tree link in the description. I'm definitely about to add that. I add your IG on my description thing, but I need to add your tree link also because that has all the information though.
Okay,
So
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I'm about to go ahead and end this because I feel as though if I start talking again, it's gonna carry on longer, man.
I bet. Look, I appreciate you having me. Thanks to everybody who stopped by to listen to me and follow my page. Look forward for more from me because I'm not going nowhere.
Yes, sir. I know that's a fact. All right, my brother.
All right, now, y'all be safe.